Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Crash Course, a hockey podcast with marketing director from Western Tech, Miss Lynda. How are you?
I am doing great. How are you, Corey?
I'm doing great, man. Ma'am, not man, but I always say man.
That's
And
fine.
like we were talking a little bit just before, like this is kind of unscripted. I feel it's better that way.
Right.
First of all, I can't read. And second of all, I'm not smart enough to process what I'm trying to read.
So you're just trying to go off the cuff, right?
100%. I think it works better that way.
I'm more comfortable that way too. So,
So you're marketing director. How long have you been with Western Tech?
gosh, I've been with Western Tech 12 years.
12 years?
Yeah, 12 years already.
And obviously 12 years, you must like it.
I absolutely love what I do, and I love the school. So I've learned a lot from there.
How many locations are in El Paso?
We have 2 locations,
I know there's one just down the street.
right?
Well, not down the street, but
On the east side.
On the east side.
Not Lower Valley, but on the south side
it's
of
on
I-10.
off America. No, what is it off of 375, right?
Right, off of 375. And
What a
then
bloody mess over there.
Right, it's been a bloody mess. It's been like that for a few years already.
It's better though. Getting better.
It's getting better. It's getting better, but you know, we go through what we have to.
And then so there's one there, and then where's the other one?
The other one's off Dyer.
Okay.
Dyer and Diana.
Which is your busier location?
They're both relatively busy because they offer separate programs. But our bigger campus is the one on the east side. That's our main campus. We offer automotive, diesel, welding, HVAC, medical clinical assistant, and business there. And then the other campus in the northeast focuses on our technology programs and
Okay.
also our nursing, our physical therapist assistant program, and our medical building and coding, which is online. But that one's a smaller campus, but just as busy.
So what is your busiest program? Because obviously, medical is huge,
Right?
right? It's never ending, and so is automotive,
Absolutely.
right? So I would assume those are your two busiest.
We always need technicians, right? But I'm going to ask you, what do you think is our busiest?
I would have to say medical.
Medical? Okay. So we do have a lot of students that sign up for the nursing program, right? We only have 2 starts a year, so it's pretty aggressive, if you
Sure.
will. However, our most popular program is our welding program.
Really?
Yes, we have starts pretty much with all our programs, give or take about every 60 days. But man, our welding program, the morning, afternoon, and evening is always full.
So would that just be because of, the oil in Odessa? I
would
know
say-
they're looking for a lot of riggers out there, and obviously that background.
Right. So I would say that has a lot to do with it.
Right.
A lot of our welders end up leaving El Paso. They're kind of like the gypsies, right? They just kind of learn the trade and then they go where the
money
instructors
is,
work.
right?
Absolutely.
Because it is a skilled trade.
Right.
And there's a lot of money in it.
Right. There's money to be made if you do well and get connected, and you just got to keep working. It's like with anything else.
Just like anything,
it's
right?
like anything else. If you want to make money, you got to keep working for it. So, but you network well. Our next popular program is also, aside from medical, is also our diesel technology program.
That's never ending.
That's never ending. So your diesel techs that need to come in. So we have a lot of companies that come in from out of town that hire our students.
That was my next question. Do you guys do a lot of like sign-on programs?
So we don't necessarily say that you're going to have a job. We
Yeah.
don't guarantee jobs or employment after our students graduate, but we do have a department, career services, that network with employers in the area or outside of the area to help our students get jobs.
Well, that's good. So what would be to become let's just go with a diesel technician, mechanic, whatever. How long does it go from, if I was to sign up with no experience to get my degree in that field?
How long is the program?
Yeah, 2 years?
Most of them are about 2 years, 19 months.
That's
19
really
months.
good.
Yeah, so 19 months. The schedule is pretty simple. It allows somebody to be able to go to work, be able to come to school. They come to school Monday through Thursday for 4 hours a day. They learn the theory part and the hands-on part. And so, again, it allows somebody to be able to go to school.
That's really
And
good.
work at the same time.
So you're just you're just putting the baseball on for me to tee it up. So,
Hey,
so
I wouldn't do good at what I do, right, if I'm not able to do that.
So my next question would be, do you guys cater more to the working adult?
As a working adult, and when I went to school, I always thought about that. I'm like, I'm a working adult. I was a single mom. I needed to go to school,
Sure.
so I needed flexibility in my schedule.
Yeah.
However, our pipeline is our high school students, and I think that has a lot to do with the services and the academic that the high schools provide to the students. It's not the same as when you and I went to school, right? It wasn't just shop, or it wasn't just, you went
Yeah,
to
right,
school.
yeah.
I mean, the high schools now in our area are offering a lot of vocational, whether it be in the medical field, cabinetry, EMT, all of that. They're offering it. So students are already exposed to maybe what they want to do in the future.
Yeah, and tech schools are great, right?
Absolutely,
Just
they're
because
growing.
you hear about the 4-year universities and UTEPs and all that kind of stuff, and a lot of students have to go to community college to get their basics out of the way because they don't have the grades per se.
Right.
But at the end of the day, you look at a 4-year degree versus a technical degree. There's more money a lot of times in the tech, and there's better fields and
So-
better future.
Absolutely.
I believe that.
And I'm not going to say that any of our local schools are any better or any less, right?
Yeah, you are. UTEP sucks.
Now you're gonna get
No,
me
I'm
in
just
trouble?
teasing. I'm only teasing. And you know what? We're not allowed to edit either. Our edit button, we can't edit. So
Well,
this
for the
is
record,
legit.
Corey said that, not Linda.
We can edit that though.
Although that I was obviously
I'm only
disagreeing with
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. But I will say this: brick and mortar schools are not for everybody.
Right.
They're just not. And you learn that. They learn that. The student learns that when they're in high school. They're like, I don't want to be in school here all day, just sitting here listening to somebody, lecture. I want to get my hands dirty, and they realize that that's what they enjoy.
Right.
So COVID, I think, shifted that mindset.
Sure.
Once we went into COVID and everybody was in lockdown, a lot of people started losing businesses. They were working from home. They started to realize, hey, we can cut down on a lot of this.
Right.
But there was some industries that did not stop. And that was your mechanics, and that was your CDL drivers, and your HVAC technicians, and your nurses, and your medical field, and your beauty, your people. We still need to get our hair cut. We still need to
Sure.
get our hair dyed, right? We needed all of that. So
Do you guys, and I don't know if you said this, do you guys do CDL?
we do have CDL, yes.
Really? Eh? Do you do sign-on? Oh, you don't do sign-on programs for that either, but
No, but we pride ourselves in establishing
Sure.
partnerships with employers.
of course.
And so we work well with some local employers that, hire our students.
And so let's talk about CDL. That's a never-ending industry as well.
Right.
There's constant work, and there's every time you go down the highway, there's more semis than there are cars.
And the crazy thing about it is that you used to get this perception that it was a CDL driver and they're like in their 50s, right? Like starting a different career in their life. And it's not like that anymore. You're getting those, you have to at least be 21 to get your CDL license, right? But now you're getting those younger students that are like
Females.
females as well that are saying, hey, I know I can make a living off of this. I'm not married. I don't have kids. I can get on the road and make some money for myself.
And like my father's a retired truck driver. And so I can talk smack a little bit because I get the right because my dad was a retired driver his whole life. So you get your typical perception of a truck driver back then, right? Is, the big heavy set dude, with the big belly, that kind of
like the
guy,
plumbers, right?
You know
The
what
plumbers.
I mean? Plumber, exactly. Just you can't see the crack.
Right. And there's nothing
I got a
sexy
funny
about
story
that.
to tell you since we're talking about crack, but it's not that. You have women, you have all acts of life, you have young kids,
Absolutely.
right? Because there is money involved, and people take advantage of it now because you
And
can
there's
see the
a
country,
need.
right?
The thing about it is that there's a need. So yes, there's money to be involved, but the biggest thing is that there's a need. And again, COVID changed that for us. Supplies that need to be, driven to different parts of the country. Unfortunately, there's so many tragedies that's happening that nature that we cannot foresee.
Right.
And these areas need truck drivers and the delivery of the supplies to be able to replenish, what was destroyed.
And it is obviously probably besides airplane, but it's the best transportation
Right.
mode of product
Right.
around, or else they wouldn't be doing it.
It's a lot of responsibility, So we take pride in the training that we provide to those drivers. We want to make sure that they understand the safety piece of it. So, we make sure that they have that experience before they actually get on the road. And most companies are not going to hire somebody right out of school to go long haul.
Yeah.
They're going to do something here locally and get that experience because, again, it's a lot of responsibility for that person behind the wheel.
How many? I'm going to put you on the spot.
Okay.
Right. I'm gonna stump you. Right. But the crappy thing is I'm not going to know if I stumped her or not anyway, so she can maybe just fib anyway.
I just
right?
smile.
You'll just smile and throw it out an answer, and I'm like, yeah, I believe you. How many programs do you have at Western Tech?
We have 15 different programs.
15. Can you name
15.
them?
Yes,
Obviously.
I can. Yes.
Well, let's hear them.
Okay.
I know you mentioned a few.
Right. So from the transportation side, we have automotive technology, diesel technology, diesel mechanics, and then we have the commercial driver training, which is the CDL. Then we move over to some of the trades, which is our welding, and it's an advanced welding program, so you get a little bit more than just a regular certificate. You can actually graduate with some certifications underneath your belt. We have our HVAC technician program. Then on the medical side, we have our medical clinical assistant program, physical therapist assistant, medical billing and coding, and then we have the Bachelor's of Science in Nursing, which is a straight Bachelor's of Science in Nursing. You do not have to get your LVN or RN to go into that program. On the technology side, we have our aerospace and defense technology, our computer science and electronics information technology program. We also partnered up with Paso Electric, and we were offering a lineman program.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that one was one of the newest ones that we incorporated. That one's really cool as well. And then we also have a computer science program, as I mentioned.
So some of the programs that, and this might be by design, from what you were telling me, kind of catered to El Paso,
I think
right?
they
You
cater
look
for
at some of
everybody,
them,
yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
directly, like HVAC. You need air conditioning in El Paso.
Well, think about
You know,
your
nursing is huge here.
HVAC is huge. I mean, just think about your rake. I mean, if that doesn't stay frozen, what happens?
Yeah.
And which I think a
You
few
wouldn't be
years
sitting
ago,
here, nor would I.
And I think a few years ago that happened. There was a problem with the whole infrastructure, and the ice was melting, and so some of our technicians came out and started looking at that and troubleshooting.
We
that.
had
So
to.
that was a great experience.
When
for
was
them.
that? It was probably like 3-4 years
Yeah,
ago.
yeah.
It was right up in startup. So it was back when we weren't able to run the plant year round before COVID, when we had the NHL game that came.
Right.
Do you remember that?
Yes,
So
I
it was
do.
right in that time. And September 1, we were allowed to turn the plant back on just because of the agreement we have with the county. And we had to shut down whatever June, June, July, August, we had to shut down. So we checked it before September 1st, and then when it came time to go, we turned it on, but when we flipped the switch,
Wasn't yeah, it was
didn't happen.
freezing. Yeah.
And
I do
we're like,
remember
oh
that.
crap. So it was about 7 days of chaotic mess.
Hey, but talk about real world experience for our technicians. I mean, I didn't say they came and solved the problem, but they were able to come see and troubleshoot that. And from that, we have a simulator now that kind of
That's
brings
awesome.
it down scale for things like that. So
And you know, kind of we talked a little bit before coming on the air. We talked about our partnership.
yeah,
So you know, we all the three of us had kind of a general idea. So it's been
about 7 years.
7 years
About
partnership
7 years
with Western
Western.
Tech,
Yeah,
and it's been an amazing ride.
I think
And you
it's
guys are
been
back
great.
on again. First time we got you, Miss Lynda, on the podcast.
know,
This
I
this is a highlight of your career. Just throwing that out there.
Hey, I'm all for it. It's been great.
This is the #1 podcast in El Paso. I'm saying that.
Okay.
So if just ask me, I'll tell you.
I agree.
All you other local podcasts, you know, 915, you guys, you know, Buzz, all you dudes out there. They're all good dudes. So we talk smack amongst each other, but 915, I owe you guys, and it's coming. It's coming. So be prepared. We're going to clip this and send it to them because I took a shot at them. I was on a certain podcast, and they came up, 915, great dudes. And they asked me a question, and I'm all about fun, right? And I, you know, 9 times out of 10, I'm playing with you and having fun versus the serious side of it. So I took a shot at them in fun, and then they got me back.
Did they
So,
really? What did they do?
Made fun of the bump on my head, and just mainly that. And I made fun of them that they couldn't beat themselves out of a wet paper bag, and you know, one guy was scared of his own shadow. You know. What I
Well,
mean?
you have an exclusive because guess what? This is the first podcast that I've done.
See, oh yeah, it's the best
There you
one
go.
you've ever
There you
been
go.
on.
That's
You know
right.
what I
Best
mean?
one I've ever been on. So you have an exclusive.
And you know,
of-
we talk like some of the, you know, the local guys. We talk a little bit, and we try to promote one another. You know, because there are some good local podcasts, and we all kind of touch a little different genre. You know what I mean? But they're all good, and we try to help each other out. So all you guys, I'm just playing, but it's a lot of fun. First time on the podcast.
Yes, it is. And believe me, I know that you all have been contacting me to get on here, and it's just, you know, it's one thing or another. But I'm glad that I actually made the time to come out here and get out here and talk with you. It's been good.
I'd like to come out to so. With all the programs that you have, especially the one on 375 on the east side.
Before we go forward, I cannot exclude our business programs. Those are the ones that I finished with.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that's okay. So we
I just
could
thought you
have,
forgot.
No.
So I didn't want to put you on
Couldn't
the
forget
spot.
those. Couldn't forget those. Right. So business administration, business and technical management, and also a straight MBA. So we're
That's
proud of
awesome.
those.
So you do
Yeah,
everything.
We do everything. A little bit of something for everybody.
Yeah, no, it is. That's awesome. So I went to school in Canada. I won't get into details, but I got in a little bit of trouble. So I had a deal to come down to the U.S. to go to school, but I got in a little bit of trouble, so that went away. We won't get into details. And then I did 2 years university in Canada, and then I was offered to come down and play with the Buzzards back in the day.
I remember the Buzzards.
Right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I played back in 97 through 2000, something like that. It was a lot of fun. Anyway, I went to Park University.
Okay.
So I made a promise to my daughter that I would get my degree. And it's not that I didn't have an intention to finish it, but when I went to finish it, I had to start from scratch.
Okay.
And for the working adult with a child, married,
Yeah,
and
so
just
everything.
everything, it's hard, right?
Yep.
And when you guys can offer the programs that you do, 4 hours, Monday through Thursday, that's awesome that you guys do that. And it does cater to really everybody.
It really does. And like I said, Western Tech isn't for everybody. And just like, everybody isn't for Western Tech. It goes both ways. But we are a locally owned school.
Yeah.
We've been around for 55 years. I think you know my boss, Brad Kirkendall. I think you've rubbed elbows with him a few times. So mainly our partnership with the Rhinos for the last 7 years has been solely based on what you all do for the community as well. So as the director of marketing, I pride myself in developing those partnerships and sponsorships with feel-good environments
Right.
and events that bring, for El Paso and the families in El Paso. So because hockey isn't necessarily a native sport here in El Paso, right? But it's been around for a really long time,
Right.
since the Buzzards, and it's always been a fun time. Every time I come to a game, it's a great time. And I love what you all have added. I love your scoreboard since last year. I think that's super awesome. But you're military, so Western Tech also caters to military.
Right.
I would say probably about a good 40%, 30% of our students are active military or veterans.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And we have been voted year after year military-friendly school. So we have a VA office that caters specifically for our veterans to help them get their education, utilize their benefits, whether that's them or their family members. So we pride ourselves on that as well. And we know that you have a lot of families that come out here that are not from El Paso, and so we just try to give them that opportunity to get familiar and get to know who we are as well.
That's really cool. So not catering to, but helping military.
Absolutely.
El Paso is a military community.
Yep.
And Fort Bliss is probably one of the top 3 as far as size.
That's right.
I believe.
That's right.
Now, don't quote me on that, but I believe that is. So everywhere you turn is military. And the fact that you can give back, for especially what the military does for the country, we try to help as well.
Yeah.
And
So we also offer military discount
Very
for
good.
the family, so like up to 10 to 15%.
Very
Like
good.
I said, we have a dedicated staff to help them through their benefits and other things that they might need. They might need to get familiar with with El Paso areas, the schools, things of that nature. So we really try to help them acclimate to the El Paso area.
So when you said locally owned, we know locally owned. Are there any other locations outside of El Paso?
No,
Just the 2 here
just
in El
the two
Paso.
here in El Paso.
55 years.
55 years.
That's incredible.
I think that's a staple here in El Paso.
I would
for
think
sure.
so. Well, you guys are everywhere,
Yes,
right?
we are.
Everywhere you
Thank
turn,
you.
there's
I would say that's
yeah, Miss Lynda. She is Western Tech. Yeah, but I'll leave that alone. But no, everywhere you turn, there's Western Tech, right? Like there's signage everywhere. There's commercials. I love you guys' commercials, by the way.
Thank you. That's also.
I was going to say that's you, right?
Yes, that's
Of course it is. But everywhere you turn, there's Western Tech, right? And if you don't know, just get on the website, look for it, search for it. There's something for everybody.
First and foremost, what we encourage anybody, doesn't matter if you're a young adult, if you're married, if you're in your 40s, school is school, and it's not ever easy. There's never the perfect time to do that. And so what we really try to do is get somebody to come out there and just look around. Try to figure out, hey, is this something that you can see yourself doing? Take a tour of the school. Talk about financial aid, what your financial options might be before you make any kind of decision. That's what we provide in terms of service for those that are interested in wanting to come
Right.
to school.
And that, it's one of the biggest things, right? Mañana, right? Mañana.
Mañana.
We're I'm guilty of it. And we all are. Just do it like your hat, Nike, right?
Right.
Just do it.
You just got to do it.
Just have to do it. Take the step and you'll get involved, get some education on it, and make a vast knowledge decision on what you want to do.
That's right.
And I would assume you guys do tours, right? Or whatever you want to
Absolutely.
call it, right?
That is one of the first things that we do when we have somebody that's interested and has questions. We take them a tour around the school, and we talk about the programs, and we talk about financial aid.
Sure.
And we talk
That was my
about,
next question.
right? We talk about the different departments that we have, like career services, that helps our students find jobs. We have career fairs, so we invite local employers to come out and get familiar with our career fairs
Right.
and our internship program. We have a great internship program, and I think you all have had some of our interns
Right.
here. But we have a great internship program where employers can help our students get that real world experience
Right.
at no contract or cost to them. So if they do per se have a position available, then they can do that and offer it to our interns
Sure.
like that. So we kind of help them.
It's
but
kind of win-win.
it is, absolutely. It's a win-win. So we want our local employers, if they're interested and need kind of that extra help, but aren't really necessarily at the point where they need to hire somebody, to
Right.
reach out to our career services, and we'd be more than happy to provide some students out there.
So with your financial aid, is that in-house or do you guys use a third party for that?
So we have in-house. It's an in-house department, and they help our students apply for financial aid. They go through that process and answer any questions. And
So
help
they
them
doctor
start.
the books so you can get qualified.
No, we do not. No, we
I'm
do not,
only
Corey.
teasing, Linda. I told you I'm going to take shots
Yeah,
when
you're
I
gonna-
can. You know
yeah,
what I
you're
mean?
gonna
Like
get us in trouble.
I'm not going, and we can't edit, can we? There, cause nope, no editing. So in-house, which is great, and there's people there to walk through the process.
to answer
to answer
questions.
questions.
Yes. Yeah, it's as simple as it is. Sometimes it is a little challenging and can be overwhelming, especially for a parent.
Yeah,
If
absolutely.
they're a parent who has a child that's wanting to go to school, there's a lot of processes with the Parent Plus loan, and there's a lot that goes into it. So we want to be able to answer
And that's a
those
good service to
questions.
offer, right? Just because, like, again, like parents back in the day, not necessarily familiar with computers,
Right.
not necessarily familiar with all that stuff that goes into it. So to have some knowledge to help, so you can get the best benefits possible, is awesome.
Well, and it's also making sure that you're making a good decision, because it's a financial investment.
100%.
It's a financial investment, but you're investing in yourself and your future. So we want to make sure that those parents and those students are comfortable and have a clear understanding of what the expectation is once they're done with their programs.
That's awesome. That's great that you guys cover all the bases,
We do.
like a one-stop shop. And so how many, I'm not talking instructors or educators per se, staff, how many do you have?
So we have, including our instructors, probably about 220 staff between the two campuses. And right now our enrollment is somewhere around 1,200 students between both schools. And it kind of fluctuates. We have classes
That's a
that
good
start-
ratio, right? Obviously, it varies depending on the program, but that ratio is incredible.
And our instructors, we really wouldn't be able to do what we do without them. They come with the experience, they come with the certifications, and they come with the passion of wanting to teach somebody to take on this trade, to be able to continue what's needed. We'll always need technicians.
Of
That's
course.
never going to go away.
Do you, you talked about a little bit before, I'm going to say clientele, but it's not clientele. The students that you get that sign up into any sort of program in Western Tech, do you think they're a little bit of a more mature audience per se than somebody that would go to UTEP?
I wouldn't say mature. They just have a different desire of how they want to learn, first of all, and what they're wanting and
See, I'm
willing to
picking your
do
brain a little
in the
bit.
future.
I'm throwing a curveball.
Let me tell you something. Those of us that are in business, I went to school for business. I have my MBA. I sit in an office, and it's nice and cool, and it's refrigerated, and usually an 8 to 5, or in my case probably 60, 70 hours a week. But these technicians, you take an HVAC technician, they're on the roof all day long. They're climbing up and down. There's a lot of technical standards that go behind something like that. They're not in the best working environments.
100%.
Mechanics are the same way. They're not in the best working environments. And so it becomes very difficult. Welders, I mean, if you ever, I'll invite you, Corey. We should do a podcast, and
Yeah,
we'll put you in a
absolutely.
welding suit.
That was
We're going to put you in a welding suit and have you weld. And, that's challenging also, putting all that suit on. It's hot. They get in small, confined places, being able to do those things. But
that's why they make good money.
they make some money. They can make a living for sure.
100%. And then you're picking up what I'm putting down, so I kind of led you that way, and that's kind of what I wanted to hear. A lot of the environment, and not all technical, but like CDL drivers, right? You're constantly on the road. You're away from your family. That's a chosen,
That's correct.
right? Welder. That is a specific field. There's no, I'm going to do this, and then I might do business.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's what you're going to do.
That's what you're going to do.
And, it's. I would assume when I went to Park, and you know what Park is? It's on Fort
Yes.
Bliss, right? So
Very similar to it. I went to University of Phoenix. So
okay,
very
but yeah,
similar.
there you go. There was a lot of working adults, and it was just a different mindset. And again, just because the responsibility goes into it.
So I would say that
I don't know if I explained that.
you did, and it's the majority of our students, or the bigger, I should say, busier time is in the morning. So I would say our average age is between the ages of 18 to about 26 is our demo. And then there might be a small break, and then there's those individuals that say, you know what, I want a career change. And they're finally realizing
That's
that
good.
they can do these other things that are in need. I mean, once you really start understanding and you own your own house, how much it costs to get somebody to come and turn on your air or turn off your heater, you're like, oh man, I wish I could just do this myself, right? Here you're living in El Paso, we know how hot it is. So if you walk into a Circle K, if you walk into Valero, and those freezers are not working, or those soda machines are not working, or you go to McDonald's and that ice cream machine's not working. If our beers are hot, when you go into those walk-in freezers, in a Valero, nobody wants that, and that's business that they're losing. So those are all HVAC technicians that go and do things like that.
Yeah, that's incredible. Something for everybody for sure.
Yes.
Big time. So you want to give some information on your website, how people can find you guys on social media, your website?
Yep. So
we'll talk to the camera.
We have all social media handles. I have a great social media director. His name is Victor Sanchez, and he's behind the scenes right now.
Victor!
But he's always putting on organic content. And what I mean by that is he gives you a really good insight about what the culture is at the school, what students are doing, the fun that we're having. It's not all fun and games, believe me. I mean, he goes out there and pulls these students out to kind of do some of these TikToks and things like that. But they're working. They're working, and they're in class, and they're doing what they need to be doing. And learning what they need to be learning. So, but there is some fun that we do behind there. But if you want to check out our programs, you can go to westerntech.edu. It'll show you all our different programs that we have on there. It'll give you some information about financial aid, some FAQs on there about financial aid. But honestly, if you really, truly have questions, you can send us some emails, or you can just go to the school. You don't need an appointment. You can walk in. You can talk to an admissions rep, take a tour, bring a friend, bring your girlfriend, bring your mom, bring your dad, whoever it is, because going to school is not easy. If it was, everybody would be doing it, but it is something that if you think you need to do, or you want to do, or just have an idea, that's where it starts. And we're not going to say if you walk in through our doors that we're going to be for you. But hey, you might find something that you're passionate about and see something that you like and say, hey, I can see a future doing something like this.
That's awesome. Well, you hit all the heads on that. So most of your programs, you guys have like a rolling enrollment, or is it I would assume it's specific, right?
So most of our programs start every 60 days. I mean, right now, everybody's in the idea it's fall, it's August,
Right.
So that's traditionally when we're getting ready to start school. So August and September are our biggest programs, or our busiest times. And then again, we'll start up in January as well. But if you missed a date, that's okay. I mean, we'll have probably something starting again within the next month and a half after that.
Well, that's great. So there's, again, something for everybody. There's no excuses for you. Anybody that wants to get there, just do it.
That's right.
All you got to do is take that first step and change your future.
That's right.
Right? Change your career. There's, the world is changing, and there's no such thing as too old anymore.
Absolutely not.
There is not. Because you see it every single day.
People are making career changes, at the age of 45 and barely finding out what their passion is. So again, if it's something that you've been thinking about, if you have a son or daughter at home, or you yourself want to make that change, more than anything, it's just about finding the information, getting informed, and making an educated decision about choices that you have.
And there's something for everybody.
There's something for
there
everybody.
There really is.
Yes.
Well, and it's been a pleasure to have you on the podcast.
Thank
we're gonna talk offline and set something up, because I do want to get in a welding suit and put my skills to work.
Yes.
But again, thank you very much for jumping on finally.
I know. Well, and I want to say thank you for allowing us to be part of the Rhino community. We've enjoyed it. Our students enjoy it. We get tickets. They're at the school, and they fly off the counter. They're ready to come. So we've had fun times here at the Rhino games. I know we have Western Tech Night, and our employees like to come and enjoy the games too. So thank you for the partnership. You've done a great job, a great program.
Oh, thank you.
I wish you continued success on that.
Oh, and likewise, it's been a great run with you guys, and we're glad you're on for another season. It should be fun. We have the All-Star Orange and Black game this Saturday.
Oh, nice.
So we have our training camp going on right now. You can see it and hear it kind of in the back. I don't know if we got any picture of it, but so we got 65 guys here competing for 28 spots.
Wow.
So we'll narrow down to our All-Star game on Saturday. So it's going to be entertaining.
So, and just so you know, also I just made a Western Tech hockey jersey.
Really?
So we'll be doing our casts on those and
Awesome.
some new videos for your video board and things like that.
Perfect.
In a Western Tech hockey jersey.
That'll be awesome for sure. For sure.
Inspired by the Rhino support.
It's been fun, and thank you for everything and all the support. You guys are a huge part of our success. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
This will be posted up in a week or so. We're gonna have some fun with it. I know you got some shots back there. We'll get a picture offline so we can put something up there, and we'll have some fun, some good blurbs with it, and we'll make it entertaining for everybody. But again, thank you for jumping on, Lynda. It's been a pleasure. And remember, make sure you guys like, share, and follow. And remember, take care, comb your hair, and keep your stick on the ice.